whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Lori has to go teach a class. So I'll give you a quick recap of what's going to happen here in the short time that we're here. We've invited Reverend Bill Dudley from the Union Church of South Foxboro to say a few words and a prayer. I'm going to go in and I'm going to describe the project a little bit and then give some thanks to some of the key people and groups that work together. Good time to get to this point. Our town manager, Bill Keegan, has graciously given us a few words. Our Foxboro Conservation Commission agent, Bob Boette, is going to say a few words. And then hopefully a representative from Schneider, Vice President of Finance Operations, DiBenedetto, is he here? Oh, perfect. We'll come and say a few words. And then we're going to do, we got plenty of shovels. We're going to do a nice groundbreaking to start what is going to be a fantastic project. So if I can invite Reverend Bill Dudley, someplace here.
In the book of Genesis, it says that God gave the created world to humanity as a gift. And God said, "Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and rule over it. I give it to you." We're grateful for the gift we have, the beauty of creation. We're grateful for the people who today we honor for their hard work on this project, for the generosity of Schneider Electric, for the people from our town who have given of themselves so much for the beauty of this place and for our enjoyment of it. So today we dedicate this place with thankfulness for this place, for the beauty, for the people who have given it the hard work to make this special. Amen.
A quote comes to mind which goes back to Greek mythology, and believe me, this isn't going to be long, but the metaphor of dwarfs standing on the shoulders of giants, building on previous discoveries. Change it a bit in our time, it sounds like if I've seen further, it is for standing on the shoulders of giants. So it doesn't take much to change that to fit into what we're doing today. If Foxboro has seen further, it is because we're standing on the shoulders of two giants. The first giant, so to speak, David Risch. David Risch was our first Conservation Commission agent for many, many years, instrumental in purchasing this property in 1988, so 28 years ago. Do the math, 28 years, there we go. Pushed this forward through town meeting to purchase this property with specific conditions that it be used for enjoyment, education, and conservation, period. So the giant that the reason that we're here today is on the shoulders of his good work. And today Roberta Risch is here and thank you for coming. I appreciate, and you're part of this as well in a few minutes. The second giant we can term as five full generations of the Lane family who were stewards of this entire property, 80 acres that goes back to the Neponset Reservoir, the island that's out there, 80 acres that tended the land, and then when it was sold made sure that it stayed pristine like this so we can enjoy it like we're doing years later, and then building on it with the understanding that it's going to be for conservation. Edie Lane Erickson, front and center here, instrumental, one of the great members of the Lane 5. This project began a little bit here because Edie did a sketch of a memorial garden for David Risch, and then from there it kind of took off and grew, and Edie has been a steward of this land. She lives up there and continues to monitor this for years, so thank you, Edie, for coming today. My involvement in this, I got well, going back to the spring, as a lot of times this happens, people call people. So Schneider Electric called our town historian, Jack Othelette, with the simple request that they wanted to participate in something in town as a give back. The Schneider Electric purchased a company that purchased the Foxboro company, which goes back 100 years. So as it goes, Jack Othelette had called me. I turned around and called Heather. Heather called the Friends of Conservation. Conservation talked to the Conservation Commission, and that was a circle of life how this project got started. So the first thank you goes to Schneider Electric. Schneider Electric reached out, and there was no monetary number and there was no project. And working together with them, we came up with this project, which I'll describe, and a generous donation of $100,000 that they gave to the Foxboro Friends of Conservation, which spurred this whole project. So thank you, Schneider, for your generosity. The second thank you goes to the Friends of Conservation. It's a group of 5 volunteers that is a 501c3. Heather Harding, Ray O'Leary, Lauren Bitar, Paul Hubbridge, and Debbie Cuniff. If you can just raise your hand so people know who you are, if you're here. That's the group that kind of brought this forward. So thank you for that. Once it got started and into design, we had people step forward. Some of them were monetary donations and some were donations of things that are going to go on this property. Noreen Kiff, Ray O'Leary, Heather Harding, Selectman Ginny Capola, Edie Erickson in the Recreation Department all contributed something towards this project so we can purchase it going forward. As many projects start in Foxboro, there's a lot of labor and volunteer that goes into it. The Boys and Girl Scouts, and I can't wait for this, are going to do the brush clearing here. So thank you to them in advance and wear your poison ivy medicine. DPW, and I say this often, and I don't know if it's loud enough, but people always call the DPW to complain when there's a problem. The DPW on project after project, and this is no different, stepped up. First thing that they did is Dave Laliberti gave me the correct pronunciation of, which I call La Prelotte. It's La Prelotte, which is now called what? La Prelotte. So La Prelotte Road is actually this is a right-of-way. They came out over weekends, they surveyed it, they went back to a century worth of survey data, and now we know exactly where the limits are, and they're going to pave this road up to a certain point and provide the parking. So thank you to the DPW. Roger Hill and Dave Laliberti are here today. As part of the project, we're going to have to trim a lot of these trees, some of the dead ones. As usual, and more often than not, Tree Tech Andy Felix, I don't know if Andy's here. Megan, where's Megan? There you go. Stepped up, and we'll be doing that at no cost to the town. ZBA member and surveyor Kurt Yegian did the survey for us, again at no cost. The construction services and landscape services that we're bidding out are going to CMAC, Bill Sacchetti, and Whitley Landscaping, and they've committed to do this at or below their cost. In addition, additional labor that's going to come into this at no cost to the town. So that's a big boost for us. Thank you very much. As usual, when projects start off, to get community involved, cable access was instrumental. They pulled up the old video from 1988 when this was going to town meetings, so thank you, cable access, who's here today and is at all these meetings. And Vera Dunau from the Foxboro Reporter has done a number of stories. And that's important because people do read the newspaper, they do go online, and people get involved because of that, so thank you. I'm going to spend 3 or 4 minutes just describing the project. You've seen it on the boards and some of the narration. As you come in, this is all going to be repaved. The 80 acres that surround this is the gateway. We're going to have 4 or 5 handicapped in spaces here. As you come in, the first thing you're going to see is this beautiful building. The remnants of a building that was there and a home that was there and a home that was up there kind of had to burn down because of lack of maintenance and degraded over time. This is a good way of, people talk about LEED and sustainability, putting life into something that doesn't have a lot of use. So next summer when you come here, you're going to see a building, all new roof, new siding. Those garage doors are going to be gone. There's going to be barn doors, and it's going to be the home of a classroom. Conservation can have the meetings here. The Moms Club, we have the president of the Moms Club here, anxious to use it. Art classes are going to be done here, senior classes, and it basically is a three-season room that can be used by many. You're going to be standing in a new concrete patio with landscaping. We have a local artist that's going to do some artwork. They're going to do, the crosswalk's going to be painted with an art rendering, all local talent. If you look up in that area, as you come past here, there's going to be 20 parking spaces. The DPW is going to use reclaimed aggregate when they mill up the pavement. It's going to be graded and put up there. There's going to be a tree grove over here. There's a beech tree that's there that went in at Dave Rich's time. It's going to be enhanced, and that whole area is going to be a shade area where you can relax. Over there, under that, it's going to be cleared out. There's going to be wood chips and a handful of picnic benches where you can kind of sit and relax. As you come in to the right, as the land drops down, with the grade, we're going to put benches, we're going to put landscaping, and that is going to be a very quiet, colorful area with indigenous plantings to give respect to Dave Risch, who worked so hard. That is going to be the Dave Risch Memorial Garden. One of my favorite aspects of this is, as you see, this area is going to be cleared up there. The tree is going to be removed where it was burnt, and there's going to be a 25 by 60 foot at-grade deck that extends to the border of Crack Rock Pond. Now, Crack Rock Pond, it looks kind of crummy right now, and it's in the spring, summer, and winter, it fills up and it's beautiful. You're going to see the ducks, you're going to see the quiet place to enjoy it. You can start the fishing derby here, you can have art classes out there, and this whole campus entrance is going to be enhanced thanks to Schneider Electric, the volunteers from Foxboro Conservation, both the commission and the Friends of. So there's graphics here, ask questions to any people who worked on it. I'm very happy that this is all coming together in really record time. We were in front of the Conservation Commission last night and went from acceptance of donation to survey to design to approval to construction, all within a month and a half. And we're going to start construction tomorrow. So again, like I said last night, I could probably talk for another hour. I'll introduce Bill Keegan, our town manager, to say a few words.
Thank you, Jim. I think the Reverend had some divine intervention on this day. I mean, talk about a perfect day for this. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I especially want to thank the community partnerships that we've formed over the past several years. I remember first coming to this location when they were going to actually burn the building down, and I said, you know, what a great location for a conservation or recreation type of use for the long term for everyone to enjoy over many, many years. And the vision that folks had here to this today is beyond what I ever thought could be possible. So I want to thank everybody who's involved in it. I particularly want to thank Jim and Heather. Jim has been a volunteer for most of his career and most of his life, and yet he rarely ever wants to take any credit for us. But I wanted to tell you that I think, you know, with his demonstration of community activism and his involvement in the projects that we do in this community, it's really what Foxborough is all about. And I really want to say thank you to him particularly, and to Heather for your involvement as well. So. I think it's really important to know too that over the past several years we've been really working on developing relationships with our private sector friends, because, you know, without them we don't have the ability to do a lot of things that we'd like to do in this community. And that means, you know, virtually not just the tax base, but also because of the special contributions they make well beyond just the tax dollars that we receive. And this is just another example of that. And with the Schneider companies, we've actually formed that relationship. We're starting to strengthen it on a much broader level. Involvement of members of their team with our Economic Development Committee, and really having an actual say in some of the redevelopment of our downtown area, which is so important as well. So we want to strengthen those relationships, and they step forward with this without any kind of spurring from us. We didn't reach out for them, they reached out to us. And I think it's so important that that connection was made between Jack Arthurlet and the Schneider companies to make this day happen today. And I just want to say thank you to the Schneider companies in particular for their contribution here today. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it back to Jim for any further further festivities today. But please, just enjoy the day. It's just a great place to be today.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Those are the kind words. A gentleman that is out of his comfort level to speak publicly, but someone who's been a friend of Foxborough for many, many years as a volunteer and as a steward of everything green in Foxborough. If I can introduce Bob Boette, who is our conservation chairman.
Thank you, Jim, and I don't know what else to say except thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I really was out of his element. So again, this came together for many different groups, and I want to emphasize Roberta's presence here. She brought a bird feeder, which was a bird bath, sorry, which was I guess a passion for Dave Risch. So the whole history and the whole leading up to this, I just want to appreciate Bob's presence to put all this together on the Dave Risch side. The last speaker we'll have today, you want to say something? Sure. It'll be our pleasure. Thank you.
David would be so happy to just see everybody together. The names that I'm hearing are all names. You've just done such a beautiful job so quickly. And to preserve the land for everybody was his dream with Bill. And they did a lot. I thank you all. I really do. And all over the state this should be happening. Everywhere. Be the example. We can be known for the patriots in this, right? Thank you.
Now with 1,000 people strong in Foxborough, the company Schneider Electric again reached out, and without a project in mind, this is what you got for your generosity. I hope you enjoy seeing the people and the appreciation, and I wanted to give you a few minutes if you wanted to speak. So Brian DiBenedetto, who's the Vice President of Finance Operations. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for pronouncing my name correctly. It's impressive. No, I think Jim told the story, but I'll just sort of reiterate. It is true that as a result of the acquisition of Schneider, stepping back for a second, we're here because we're representing the Foxboro company. And for those of you who know the Foxboro company, we've been in the community for over 100 years strong. The company started here with its roots. Now we're part of a $25 billion global conglomerate known as Schneider Electric. It gives us a lot more resource to be able to deploy into our communities. So as one of the senior executives here, along with my colleagues, we put a challenge out to what we call our site leadership team to say, what can we do if you had some real serious resources to inject into the community, what could you do? And I kind of got the deer in the headlights look, to be honest with you, because I have a reputation as the CFO of always saying no. That's my job. I always say no. People come and ask for stuff and I say no. I wake up in the morning, I say no. They came to me, and Karen will recall that this is true, they came to me almost scared with some of the small stuff that they were thinking about, and my reaction was, that's not big enough. We want to do something to make a splash in the community and show that even though Schneider Electric has acquired us, the Foxboro company is still rooted in the community and here to be a partner. So they did some research, they reached out exactly as has been told, discovered this amazing project, came back, and again, we're afraid, $100,000, are we really going to be able to do that? And the executive committee said, this is a no-brainer. Absolutely, let's do it. And my challenge to you all who are in charge of actually executing the project would be, we might not be able to do it all over the state, but we can certainly do it all over Foxborough with the resources that we have, but we need to do this project right. So let's do this project right, let's do it on budget, let's do it on time, let's make a big splash, and then the next time the team comes to the CFO to say, I need another $100,000, I'll probably say no at first, but then I'll say yes. So thank you very much. It's our pleasure to partner with you.
To get to this point, aside from the check and the money, came staff from Schneider and Karen and Jackie and Steve and Matt. Sorry, you just showed up. Okay, forget him. All right. Well, you know what? We're starting construction tomorrow, so you have your chance tomorrow. But thank you. There's a lot of time that you guys put on your personal time to come to meetings and kind of put this together. So thank you. So we've got 10 shovels. We'll figure this out, but before we do that, I wanted to see if Roberta and Edie and Bob Boette could come over to the bird, and we'll do a ceremonial splash of water onto the bird bath. And Brian, would you like to do that as well? Too much. We don't want to drown.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, you're in there, Judy?
Back up and throw it behind
We're going to throw this away.
On the count of 3, you're going to dig and throw it at the other guy.
You'll end up throwing it in.
Right.
So, and then we take our check back.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Congratulations. Where this is a community project, it would be really nice if everyone else came in and did the same thing. This will be everybody. Oh boy, they're always good in pictures.
The dog will do it too.
Oh, the dog? Oh, yeah. Everyone likes it. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, you all made a piece of history.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go. Not gonna say.
All right, Heather Harding made cookies, there's water, and feel free to stay and chat. Thank you all.